time of day. And in your mind, you will find you're a bright, shining star. Ooh, that's the golden time of day. When you feel deep inside all the love you're looking for, don't it make you feel okay? Yes, like the time of the day when the sun is going down. That's the golden time of day. Ooh, that's the golden time of day. Oh, that's the golden time of day. Can't you see it shining? Ooh, shine, children, shine. Can't you see it shining? Let your love light shine. Can't you see it shining? Feel it, feel it, feel it. Shining. Can't you see it shining? Shine if you believe in love. Look above and give your heart. Yeah, yeah. Shine. Can't you see it shining?
The powers that we have. Do not underestimate our powers. The strength, the rhythm, the vibrations here on the midday meditation. Building ourselves from where we are to where we need to go. Our strength is needed.
Always remember, my friend, the world will change again, and you may have to come back through everywhere you've been. When your life was low, you had nowhere to go. People turned their backs on you, and everybody said that you were through. I took you in, I made you strong again, put you back together out of all the dreams you left along the way. You left me shining. Now you're doing well, from stories I hear tell. You own the world again, everyone's your friend. Although I never hear from you, still it's nice to know you used to love me so when your life was low. Always remember, my friend, the world will change again, and you may have to come back through everywhere you've been. Now you're doing well. From stories I hear tell, you own the world again. Everyone's your friend. Although I never hear from you, still it's nice to know you used to love me so when your life was low. Always remember, my friend, the world will change again, and you may have to come back through everywhere you've been. You used to love me so when your life was low. You used to love me so when your life was low. You used to love me so when your life was low.
This was for the fellas.
We're teaching you today. You're in tune to the midday meditation here on the Galaxy of the Week.net on the Blacknificent Show.
Hear me now. A million ways to please a woman. When she's down, she needs a hug. That's the time to show her love, or maybe just a foot rub. A million ways to please a woman. Don't talk a lot, listen instead. You wanna know, get in her head. Cause making love just ain't in the bed. Somebody say, give her candy hearts and Hallmark cards. That's what she likes. If you didn't know before, then let this be your lesson of life. Million ways to please a woman. Hear me now. Million ways to please a woman. Million ways to million ways to please. A million ways to please a woman. You gotta be her best friend. Let her know she can depend. Be her rock until the end. A million ways to please a woman. When she's in heat, she needs a freak. Represent, put her to sleep. Be a man, don't be weak. That's how you gotta please a woman. That's what she likes. That's what she likes. Then let this be your million ways to please. Million ways to hear me fast. Gotta be a million ways to please her, to please her. Gotta be a million ways. Million ways. A million ways. Gotta be a million ways. First give her a hug.
Now I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try and squeeze up a few more in. We'll try it. We'll try. Yes. This is our midday meditation here Time for you to recenter yourself. Set the reset button. Huh? Reset it. Let's do this. Father and Son
must have been
combination.
cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. See, I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Yes, you were only a face without a name. I never once heard you complain. No. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. I could fly higher than an eagle. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but Daddy, I've got it all right here in my heart. Yes, I can say I want you to know. I know the truth. I know you know the truth about it. You know the truth now. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know you're my hero? Yeah, yeah. You're everything I would like to be. You're a part of me. You're a part of me. I could fly higher than an eagle. Oh, 'cause you are the wind beneath the old man. One more time, yeah. You are the wind beneath my wing, my wing. So Daddy, I remember you up on the stage singing your song now. That's why I used to take you and your brothers on the road. I used to carry all along. But now I'm glad we can stand up and sing it together now. It's so good to see your dreams come true right here and right now, right now. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, I know that. No, it didn't, but son, I've got it all right here in my arms, in my arms. I want you to know that I know the truth. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to be something that is nothing. Zero without you. Without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? If you didn't, I'm telling you now, Daddy, you're everything I would like to be. My son, my son, you're part of me. I took my heart and let me go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause you are the wind beneath your daddy's wing. I love you are the wind beneath your middle son's wing.
Hey, we're here on our midday meditation here on the galaxy of we.net, right here, broadcasting live from London right now. And I wanna thank our brother who's been a major contribution, one of the major contributors to our online group here, and an established artist, and I love the fact that he's sharing his new collaboration, yeah, Luciana, very appropriately come to our end of our meditation. Like a conscious, I use this it's available for all of you. Airtime, yeah. our, that's our brother there. Yes, that's our brother there, Mikey. Mikey Conscious and Luciano. They're bright today, right? You can go and download that from all of the available sites out there. And good luck with the future. Good luck with the future. Well, that's our midday meditation this strong. And I'm hope that you are enjoying the process because it's one of those things that we definitely need. We need to have that special time for ourselves, quality time for ourselves. Right, let's move on into our next section now, which is the ancestral voices. All right, so let me just bring up the pieces. So let me just bring it up, and then I can be ready for you now. Be ready for you. I'm ready for you. All right. Now, I've with the okay, right. First of all, inspired. This piece is inspired by Mama Margaret, right? By our ancestors and parents appreciation day that we had not too long ago here in the UK, and I just want to share this part again because I think that is very appropriate that we extend and allow those who have been here for many years, many years. I know even though they may not be here in the flesh, but this is the whole essence of what the ancestral voices can bring to us as the family. We know say that them never dead, they never die because we always keep them alive. So without further ado, I'd like to bring to you our Mama Margaret. Right, and here we go. Ooh, a bit louder. That's our sister, an elder, an elder, Mama Margaret. Yeah? You see? Ancestral voices, they just keep you still alive no matter what. Away with there. Yeah? Let's get some further education where we are going with now. Here we go. Yeah, a key. Here we go. Why have I brought that to you? Hmm? Why? It shows, or it showed to me, there's a process that we can take on. It's it's usually ignored by many, and then with others it is been enhanced, and they've set up retreats to deal with the issues that it is causing. And the reason why I brought this to you is because we as the black community need to take our development and our well-being very, very serious. Don't think that it's just an age thing, because at any time when we go through our changes, man and woman, when we go through our changes in our life, we may need that assistance and help. You heard what the speaker was saying, that he went to a retreat. Ah, our, our sister, Giot Chineri, provides a service of retreats. There are those who are here in London that put on events so that we can assess our own well-being. And you know what happens? There are people who will fly from around the world to come to London to attend those events that is literally down the road from you. Probably a few bus rides or a train ride, and yet you are resistant to the assistance which is there. You are resistant to it. And why? And that's the question I want to ask you this afternoon. Why are you so resistant to actually receiving or going to receive or even asking for any help when it comes to your well-being in that way, whether it be physical, mental, or spiritual? Why are you so resistant? It doesn't make much sense, does it? That you would actually be resistant to actually receiving help. But yet that is the state that we are actually in. That is the conditions that we have created within ourselves and for ourselves. We have such a fear, right? Or instilled fear of reaching out to get help. It literally takes the time when somebody is in a dire strait for them to actually seek help. And I do know the stories. I do know the stories of of various people going to the hospital and then being sectioned, right? Treated in a bad way and everything. And this is what we need to prevent. I do believe we should prevent this. And how do we prevent it? By creating our own. Creating our own. By training our own. Training our own professional and those who wish to assist as well. those who wish to assist as well, that we have to train them as well. Greetings, greetings, Sister Sandra. What you done? What you done to yourself now?
I haven't done anything. It's just hot.
Just hot.
It is hot. I'm sitting on the
Uh,
veranda
you
and
need
it
some
is
more. You need some more cocoa butter upon that, there, so then.
cocoa butter ain't gonna help, you know. Cocoa
Yes,
butter just becomes
it, it
an
will. It
oil.
will. It will crisp up the skin.
Yeah, yeah, I don't need it. It's 29 degrees at
29.
the moment. 29, and it's gonna go up to 31.
Hold on, hold on. Why don't you rub it in a little bit more? Cheers. I think we're probably about 20, 23, 24 here
See, why are you complaining?
because
We're
you're
talking about
29 and that's a cold day. Let's go put your marina on. Oh dear. Yeah, man. Anyhow. So, how are you doing, my sister? I know that you're here for a very short time today. So, all those who want to call in very early because our sister is going to disappear. If you want any questions and everything that you wish to put to her as well, right? So, well, go on, Jamaica.
so. I still need to check it out. But there's been a lot of individuals around me, family, friends, strangers, who are going towards taking their last breath and going to join the ancestors.
Wow.
So the question I think to myself is, what preparation have we made?
Mm,
What are we doing with the time we have here? Because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow, the next 5-10 minutes isn't guaranteed to any one of us.
true that. True
So
that.
what are we doing? So there
Mm,
was one individual, one young man who, it appears, he went to a setup, um, worked during the day, went out in the evening, done what he was doing, come home first early morning, fall asleep at the wheel of the car. And when they were telling me that, I thought to myself, well, I know I've fallen asleep at the wheel of the car, or felt I fell asleep at the wheel of the car. But on a straight road, on a motorway in London or in the UK, you can catch yourself.
yeah,
To some degree, you can catch yourself.
yeah.
He didn't get a chance to catch himself
Mm.
in the road that he was traveling on, and his car went over the gully. And I think to myself, was it worth it?
Listen, you push it. You will push on, push on, push. Right.
And that's the thing, we push the envelope, but are we
Mm,
pushing in the right direction?
mm,
That clip that you was just referring to, and the person was talking about mindfulness
mm.
and meditation. That's so important.
Yes.
To slow down in order to speed up. We
Hmm.
push the envelope, but we're pushing. We don't know where we're pushing it. We don't know why we're pushing it. We don't know how we're pushing it. And we're
Hmm.
actually making it harder on ourselves and for ourselves.
Hmm.
Whereby, as they say, are we living to work? Or are we working to live?
And this is the thing because like we're going through an extremely stressful time, right? Even those who are working, they're under it as well, So
Mm,
in this way, and for me, for me, right, is that you will see many of the Europeans taking up the mantle of, I better do something about myself,
mm,
right? And this is why I'm bringing the question today,
mm,
right? Of when do you and what would you participate in, right? To actually see to your own well-being,
mm,
yeah. Although, like for instance, we offer a service of support, right?
mm,
We offer a service there, but there are those who they say, oh yeah, I could do something like that, but they're not willing to make that next step of, like a free consultation, for instance.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
And
mm.
it seems a very, very difficult thing to do in our community. You know, very difficult. You
So
know.
there's two things in from a human nature.
Mm,
We often we want free, but when we get free, we don't take it up because we think there is
mm,
no value.
mm-hmm.
And when you put a value on it, we turn around and say it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And what we don't highlight, or we're not mindful of
Mm,
individually and or collectively, is we need to feed ourselves. We need to do for self.
mm-hmm.
We need to, as they say, put on your gas mask before you can put on anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
We need to invest in self. So if it's free, scrape it up,
Mm,
but use the information. Don't just go and not use it.
mm,
And if there's a cost to it, scrape it up.
mm,
Do not ignore it, because you're ignoring it at your peril.
mm-hmm.
Because there are opportunities, and we all get the opportunities. I
Mm.
know the brother that you were speaking to earlier on before the midday meditation
Yeah,
was
yeah,
speaking
yeah.
about Jamaica
The
and
taxi
the
driver, yeah.
opportunities, yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
opportunities in Jamaica, and how the way of life, and he's talking about the brain drain.
Mm-hmm.
Windrush, we know today there's a lot of celebrations in terms of the Windrush, 75 years, yada, 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 yada.
Mm,
We also know then that there was a lot from a brain drain point of view out of the Caribbean and the Africas.
mm-hmm.
So what was left was, you think, did they take the cream from the crop?
Mm,
Potentially, yes. But does that mean that the rest that were left couldn't rise? No, because they've proven, to some of them, that they've proven that they have risen amongst the ranks, but they're doing the same things 2, 3, 4 generations on. They're
mm-hmm.
now also looking to say, okay, the Americas, the Canadas, the
Mm-hmm.
UK, whether it be teaching, whether it be farm work, and there's still a lot of people going to farm work in Canada and or America,
Mm-hmm.
nurses, the professions, and you think to yourself, okay, so what's left? When I look around and I look at the young people and I think your education system is still good.
Mm-hmm.
They're teaching a lot of the papers at the moment, but the education system is still good. But what is it why we all, as individuals within certain communities, we're always looking outside and we're not looking in?
Exactly, exactly. Because it's one of those things is that, you know what, do for self, do for self first of all, right? Um, if we look back on Marcus Garvey, for instance,
Mm,
right, for him to get himself into the state of liberation, right, and him to feel that he could make a momentum for himself,
mm,
right, he had to spend the time to develop that those organizations, that
mhm,
work ethic, right,
mhm,
to actually run businesses for himself,
mm,
right. It's not something that, oh, he was shown and taught, right.
mm,
The only part that he was shown was the printing,
mm,
when he got the job
mhm. Yeah.
in the printers, yeah.
Mm,
And
mm,
then after that, he was virtually self-taught,
mm,
right? So he went there,
mm,
learned the skill, and then he went off and done his own,
mm,
yeah. And then
mm,
from there, obviously, he had some other industries and everything else,
mm,
organizations, yeah. But he did for self,
mm,
yeah.
mm,
Us
mm,
as the community, we as the community now, right? We need to be doing for ourselves so that we can be on a liberated road.
mm,
Because
mm,
even if we have anything successful, we're going to be scrutinized. We
mm,
are going to be scrutinized, right? and even in some cases sabotaged.
mm,
Yeah, in one way or another, they're going to come and sabotage you.
mm,
So therefore, we have to develop the whole thing for ourselves here, right?
mm,
Of self education, self realization, self relying on as well,
mm,
right?
mm,
And that means that we supposed to provide the jobs for those who we are educating,
mm,
right? And put them in the right position so that they are service to the community.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
you understand?
mm,
We're supposed
mm,
to have the lawyers, the doctors, the teachers, but they teach our curriculum.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
and all these type of things that we need to do. We need to do. You
mm,
know,
mm.
but hey, who am I?
We don't. We know it's a fact.
Mm,
The job, or the one paycheck will only pay you enough in order to get you by. It pays you enough so you turn up tomorrow because you've got just enough in order to pay your bills and um, to get that to put food on the table. And now with the price of and the increased price of living, it becomes a little bit more of a challenge. So you do need to invest in self so you can look at the other opportunities which do present themselves to you. So as you just said, Brother Aston, in terms of Marcus Garvey, he learnt a skill and then he took it to another level.
mm-hmm,
He picked up the knowledge that he needed and he took it to another level.
mm-hmm.
We spoke about when I was with you on Monday, the event that happened for Father's Day, and they were giving away. Um, I've got feedback.
Oh, the Pixar. Mm-hmm,
They were giving away the machete.
mm,
So to me, I'm thinking they're giving it away to the wrong people. But as long as whoever picks it up
mm,
makes use of it,
mm,
plant something for themselves,
mm,
so they don't have to go and buy everything at the whether it be the corner store, the main store, any store. They can plant their tomatoes.
mm-hmm,
We've got plenty of sunshine, and every now and again we get a little bit of rain. You
mm-hmm,
can plant your peas, your gunga peas, your red peas. You can plant food kind,
mm,
which means you don't have to be reliant on somebody else for everything.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And that is the trick. What are we doing for self?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I've got a caller on the line here. Let me bring him in.
Brother, bring
Elder,
him.
Elder Desmond.
Rise up, brother Aston.
I,
How's things?
we're doing well. I'm just trying to raise the standard right now. Trying to raise the standard as we usually do.
You mean the ancestral standard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Brethren. It's good to hear your voice and
Mm. Good to
see
hear
that
yours.
it's the ancestral time. Make we honor the ancestor.
Mm.
I honor Adriana Tolo. I honor Theophilus Tolo.
Mm.
I honor Marian Clark. I honor Thomas Clark. I honor Alfreda Clark. I honor Iris Tolo.
Ashe.
And I honor all the great ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's rise them up.
Exactly. Yeah. You did hear that I put down Mama Margaret early on.
Yes. No, the wise queen.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, the queen of wisdom.
You can't let them pass this off.
No, well, the struggle goes on, and without them, we would not be Umbantu.
Exactly.
And if we forget where we're coming from, may we perish where we stand.
Well, and that's the beauty of where we are right now, in this timeline. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And this is why you see I can't join with these people that celebrate some kind of German ship, some Nazi ship.
Mm.
I can't be joining that because that is not good for the ancestral spirit.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And I'll give me no little penny to ignore the atrocity they've committed.
No, don't forget. But then again, you know what I'm very surprised with though, right? How short some of our memories really are.
We haven't got any memory. That's what I'm saying, because we don't honor the ancestors. You see, if you don't honor the ancestor, you perish where you stand. Because whose shoulders are you standing on?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then I was very glad when certain people showed their colors. And I said, you see? Right?
Yeah, well, there's 30 pieces of silver, because what really angers me, and I just feel like this of a ringing, because this Home Office, this British government Home Office, as one man said, they wiped out 400 years of history and treat subjects of the empire as if we're illegal immigrants, and then deport us. And then the same Home Office turn around and say, okay, we work out a compensation scheme. And the same Home Office will make people dead before them pay out nothing. And we're here celebrating. We must be the only people that celebrate our demise.
Like fool, isn't it? Like fool.
No, it's an insult to fool.
God.
That's how bad it is, brother Aston. Because your people, them suffer.
And for years and years and years, and nothing are gone.
And instead of us raging and saying no more, not again, enough is enough, we out there jumping up and down, a raised flag, a raised plaque. What kind of people are we?
Exactly.
Eh?
We
should be down at the parliament, chanting them down for them wickedness.
That's right. 75 years
of oppression. I remember as a youth, I was afraid of British policemen them, because you know what? The minute them see you, they want to hold you for sus.
Yep.
I got taken to West End Central one night, coming out of a club in Carnaby Street. I don't know if you remember it, Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus, yes. I do.
And leave all the way from country. So we got land and for a night out, you know? Hard working man of Vauxhall motor. And the next thing me know, me come out of the club and policeman rush me. And them say, "Hope me a fly." So I said, "No man, that is disrespectful. You can't ask me if you unclose myself on the street."
That was a regular thing as well.
Yeah. Next thing me know, because them never find nothing in my pocket, so them say it must be in my private. They pervert them. So them drape me off Ghana, West End Central, and strip search me and tell me what to do and to expose myself. And one of them say, "Oh, it's degrading, isn't it?" So a brother was with me at the time. He said, "Well, if that's how you get your kicks, who are we to stop you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. And then them find me guilty for obstructing the police. Eh?
And yet you were the one who ended up naked.
Naked, powerless.
Yeah.
So when I see them people are going them things, I say, where is the justice? Where is the apology? You have this dirty Home Secretary talk about she not apologize for nothing. So why is it everybody else can get justice and we can't? Is that because we always a jump up and celebrate our demise?
That is how culturally they treat black people, right? And she is blatantly doing that because she knows that she can get away with it.
Yeah, because we're too busy partying. Them only have to give you a 2 little shilling, and you have some house slave that them quick to take it, to get them picture in a paper, whatever. And for missy one celebration, you had more white people there than black people. I mean, I think, wait, how much white people did they come from Jamaica upon this Windrush?
Say?
You know what I mean?
Huh?
We're going crazy, man. But, you know, we just have to keep on speaking our truth.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if people don't like it, that's for them problem.
One of the things, right? One of the things I saw, it was a few nights ago. It was a few nights ago, though, right? And when I say night, it was like 1 o'clock a morning. 1 o'clock a morning, right? Because you know, we all I stay right now. I don't get a full night's sleep most nights, anyhow.
Yeah, I get all brethren.
No, no.
Yeah.
It's my duty. It's my duties that I have to deal with at home. You know. Anyhow. So they had a series. I'm not sure. It was four programs surrounding the Windrush business there, right?
Yeah.
And it was programs that had been repeated some years ago. It was some programs that was repeated somewhere, but it was good to see, to just review, because some of the participants in that program there I knew from before. Some of them have already passed on to their ancestors and things, but some of them I knew from before, you know. And then when the program finished, it finished about say 4 o'clock a morning, yeah. And then I sat there for a moment and I thought to myself, well, what is the story now? What is the story? You know, why is it that they finished that series, but obviously that life has gone on and it's still ongoing, right? And then I think it was yesterday. I was flicking through the YouTube thing there again, right? And then something popped up about a person that had been deported to Jamaica, right? They went on holiday to Jamaica,
Yeah.
and wasn't allowed back into the country, right? And then from that after, you know, they obviously he's retired. The person was retired, so he lost his home, his money, and
Pension.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything, you know.
And this is what we celebrate.
Yeah. And I think to myself, well, boy, even on the strength of that alone, that should move every one of us to be coming out to even demonstrate or to make some form of action towards their MP and councillors, you know, because I'm thinking, why? And just like what you just said, why are we not doing anything about it or saying anything about this?
Well, we are, you see, because what happened is they program these house slaves to what they call it, a neo-colonialist approach, where you see the idea of neo-colonialism was developed way back in the 18th century, and it was a realization that Europeans don't want to live amongst black people, but they want to maintain their dominance. So the idea was copied from the Romans, because the Romans developed this thing of colonialism, and it was if they invaded another tribe, then that tribe, if they resist, they'll be wiped out. But if they comply, then they'll put a puppet leader that look like them or one of them who will obey their instruction. So this idea of neo-colonialism was part of this disguise, what they call independence for the Caribbean, where they put in place a governor general. And this governor general now oversee the plantation, but more in the interest of the British monarchy.
Of course.
And him wear a chain where a white man's foot is on a black man's neck.
Yes. The
cross of, I think, St. Michael, one of them.
Yeah.
As governor general, and the prime minister have to report to him. So when you have a Jamaican prime minister, give himself over 200, well, they give him posse, and the rest of them, the opposition, so-called opposition, over 200% pay rise at a time of increased cost of living and global recession. And
Well,
same I get annoyed when people talk about it.
well, the fact is, right? They may have received that amount of like money in pay, but the fact is that they're still relying upon the votes of the people, right?
Yeah, but the people don't have no real say because you see them can corrupt the system whenever they want.
Well,
You
maybe
see, if they don't control it, because at the end of the day, the governor general is unelected. So all I'm saying about this neo-colonialism is they also work at the community level
mhm,
where they train certain people, program them in certain way of being and thinking, and then they, like the Tuskegee syphilis
yeah,
experiment, where they use black nurses
mhm.
to go around and inject black people with syphilis. So they have some of our people programmed to lead us to the slaughter in a way, metaphorically speaking. And so any voice that objects to them is marginalized within the community.
Okay, well, listen. Sister Sandra's only here with us for a short while today, right? So
Yeah, rise up, Sister Sandra.
Greetings, brother. Greetings.
right. So listening to what our elder was saying there, right? What's your take on all of this, Sandra?
So,
With, with, with the Windrush, right? Like what do you see that they're doing over there with surrounding the Windrush?
so they're not doing anything over here in terms of, I've not heard them talking about it on the radio, and I've not seen anything in the press.
Mm.
It seems to be more, if I'm getting feeds or information, it's all what's happening over in the UK.
Yeah.
So they're not picking up on it in that way.
Because I would have
Bearing in mind they sent so many people came over from the island.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not picking up on it.
So like even for the thoughts of like the Windrush, that was only one, anyhow, because it was not only just England that they went to; it was all over Europe. Yeah, it was all over Europe. So if they've been treated in the same manner in those places as well, right? Then obviously that's another story by itself. Again, right? Because anywhere I know that anywhere that I've been, right, it's always seems to be the same or similar reception that I would receive of be careful, be careful who you speak to and what type of and how they're treating you, you know. So I think to myself that there's more stories to be told, right? But one day, hopefully, it will all come out. It will all come out. Because like as I say, there's that the UK was not the only place that everybody went to.
Well, one of the things that the elder spoke about, and I hadn't considered it in that way. So, yes, they've spoken about it more so in the UK than I can see anything this side of the in media this side. But and you spoke about the program that they showed, but what happens next? What's happening to the next generation, the generation after that?
Exactly.
What you end up doing is that if you, regardless whether or not you celebrate it, but you've tracked a group of people who came over, but are you tracking the next generation? Do you care?
Well, the way how society is running at the moment, it's like they're continuing the same trade, but with Europeans. Yeah.
Well, if I could just contribute a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a school governor, and I have some experience of the school system.
Mm-hmm.
And as the basic entry into the wider society, education is like the gateway. But in most cases, our young people are achieving, and well, they've been doing that for years, but we're still under lacking support in accessing a sort of high standard or even the average standard of education that is necessary to take the next generation forward. Now, even if you're so-called middle class, it means that your children are less likely to be better off than you. So taking it down to a sort of working class level, many of our young people are not in support, are not in receipt of the support that would enable them to achieve more than their parents. And so you have what is now widely recognized as the school to prison pipeline. And it means that our condition from the young to from the birth to death is worse than everyone else's. Because when you think of it, for example, over 50s black men, we have the highest rate of living alone. That even now some of us are dying and it takes weeks for people to know we're dead. Our family structure is one of the weakest. You know, our young men are more likely to have a criminal record at 21 than if they have a level 5 grade in maths. So it is not a good time, particularly for black men and young black men as well, because this Home Secretary is even going to make it even more possible for them to end up with criminal records because they're using the police to address issues that should be addressed through the social care and social services. So it's not looking too positive.
Well, this is the thing that they are tightening their defense, right? We have no offense to counteract that, right? Which we do really need. We need it, right? Because when they are there, they supposed to quake or you think twice before they actually approach any of our young people, right? Knowing that they have a defense mechanism that is there and is willing to go all the way. Yeah, right? They don't have no fear. They don't have no fear. This is why you will see like the Arabs, right? Don't get me wrong. They have all the aspects of what we have in our community. All of them have it. All the different factions of different races within or communities within the London area or England, they have them all, right? All the same challenges in different levels, right? But the only one thing that some of them allow to happen is that they allow themselves to be judged by their religious aspects, yeah, and then they would prefer to use that in preference to using the law of the land, right? So the Jews and some of the Muslims, they prefer to use those type of things instead of the law of the land.
Yeah, but that's, you see, when you have your own identity, part of the identity is to construct your version of your God. So when you are copying somebody else's God, it doesn't have the same meaningfulness as if it was your self-generated one. Because what I argue is that God did not create man. It was man that created God.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason he created God was to serve him. So other people's God served them. If you look at the Arabs, for example, their God is a Muslim or is an Arab.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the European, they turned their Jesus into a blonde blue eye.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Indian, their God look more like them.
Exactly.
But we don't have a God that represents us because we've been programmed to reject our God.
Yeah. I can hear that, and I accept. And I was about to say that. As well. That all the effigies and images that were prior to the colonial Malgamese process, right? We had imageries that depicted our deities, right?
That gave us confidence and courage.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what a God is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you courage.
Right, but like obviously,
because when you believe that you are invincible, you act as if you're invincible, and therefore you become courageous.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have no deep-seated belief in anything, because you cannot be telling me that you believe in a religion that says, wash me and I shall be whiter than snow. Oh, amazing grace, that save a wretch like me. How can that give you any courage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
How can it?
Cannot.
It distracts you.
Exactly.
And it's not a healthy distraction, but it's a distraction all the same. So it's dressed up as a healthy.
I just got this image in my head, right? And the sound of Dennis Brown's Slave Master in my head, right there, you know.
Yeah, well, they released the chain, you see, but they've used their brain. You see, where we have lacked this sort of imagination to see ourselves as conquerors, we now see ourselves as servants. And this is why here Marcus Garvey will say, arise. Now, you only tell a man on his knee or who is lying down to arise. Because a man who is standing up, you don't have to tell him to arise. So,
well, I would, you know, something, consciously or subconsciously, right? As I was coming to the studio, I came out the apartments where I'm there now, and there was a young man across the way. And as I was passing, he was there with some plastic bags and everything and all this on the side there. And I looked across at him. I looked across at him, and then he kind of like averted his look away from me. And then, but at the time, because I was on the way to come and do the program here, but I wanted to go and have a word with him. And I know, say, if I would have got caught up in one thing or whatever, because I couldn't leave the young man on the side of the road like how he was there. It's like somebody just stop and just dash him out the car. You understand? And he might be like like 10 plastic bag round him or whatever. You know. Right? But it's just a thought. It's just a thought of that. Boy, there are so many of us going through some serious challenges right now.
Yeah, but Brother Aston, some of us ain't going through it. Some of us stopping it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it worse. You see, there's nothing wrong with going through difficult times. But you have to believe in yourself that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Because if you don't believe that, if you think this is it, then why should you do anything? Because it's like you're waiting to aspire. And that is not the way to move forward, is it? And this is where I go back to the ancestral acknowledgement, that until we recognize that our ancestor put us here to continue the journey, and the moment we forget our mission, we lose our vision. So Therefore, you become like the leaf in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
You get blown in any direction, so anyone can program you to do whatever they want.
True that. True that. But
I'm in a school governor position, and I have to be fighting to get them to put on their complaint procedure the word discriminatory behavior, because all they want to talk about is prejudice behavior. So I said, well, how do you define prejudice? And they have to, we need to get advice. I said, you cannot incorporate the Equality Act 2010 and exclude discriminatory behavior.
But that's referred to.
But yet they want to include, they want to say, oh yeah, this policy includes the 2010 Equality Act. So use the word discriminatory behavior. Because, and if you can imagine a governing body having difficulty using that word, it makes you wonder, are they trying to preserve certain discriminatory way of being? That they don't want to talk about it. And parents are out there dropping their children to school or sending their children to school and take no interest in the education system.
Well, then again, it's just a glorified babysitter for them.
They don't care. Because if they care, they would be in there. I said to a man, would you take your car to a mechanic if you didn't trust them? He said, no. So I said, well, why do you take your child to a school where you not trust the teacher?
What was the response?
Enough interest. Our religion can't even provide us with a school. The Muslim religion provide them with school. The Jewish religion provide them with school. The Church of England religion provided people with school. What is our religion providing us?
Then again, where are our religions? Where is our religion?
This is what I'm saying. We've abandoned our ancestral way of being, and we've lost our morals. We no longer take care of, educate our young or take care of our elders.
Well, hold on. Hands up. We do. Ain't that so, Sandra?
Well, I know I do. We do.
That's
There
right.
are those amongst us, and I've got.
This is why you will go through difficulties and not stay in difficulties, because you're guided by a superior force. Think of all the thousands and thousands and thousands of great ancestors that have invested in your existence right now.
Exactly. You
have more power than the sun.
It's true.
Yeah, but until you acknowledge
I've had thousands of years behind me.
Exactly. But until you acknowledge that, you will never see any way forward. Because it means your ascendants. Because I don't like this word descendant, because my youth, them not descending or nothing. You know what I mean?
Don't be like
my
that.
ascendants will be greater than I. Because he who or she who wish to be great must pave the way for a greater one. So I owe it to my ancestor to be great. And I owe it to my ascendants that they be greater than me.
Right, listen, I'm very, very conscious of the time. Right, because as I say, our sister Sandra,
yeah, Babylonian system, we have to deal with that, isn't it?
I'm very conscious of the time.
Nice linking up, because you kind of cheer me up, because sometimes me like a little rant, and
I know, but you took it easy today, though. You took it easy today.
Yeah, because I'm in a bit of a calmer mood. I'm trying to be calm in the face of so much hypocrisy.
Hey. Believe me, you're in the right zone for calmness right here, right now. Because that's
why, brother Aston. We are spirit people too, Iron sharpen iron.
Yeah, man. Bless up, man.
Yeah.
Bless up.
And rise up,
Sister Sandra.
Rise up the sister there.
Sister Sandra.
Sister Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
More life, more power.
All right then. Bless up. Bless up. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
bless the brother Aston.
All right then. All right. Right. Hold on, brother Julius. Hold on, brother Julius. How you okay then? What you have to say to all of that now, my sister? What's your thing? Because I know you're gonna have to move off.
There was so much that was said, because when we think about the education system and it
Mm,
has its purpose,
mm,
are we actually utilizing it to the best of our or its ability?
mm-hmm,
And I love the analogy as if you wouldn't carry your car
mm,
to a mechanic that you didn't trust,
mm,
but you are prepared to leave your child in a system that you recognizing, yeah, don't trust the system,
mm,
but are you going to stand on the outside and do nothing, or are
mm,
you going to enter and do something?
mm,
To have the conversations like the elders having, remind them that when they're making their policies and they're putting in the procedures,
mm,
that there are things that they're forgetting. And
mm,
sometimes just the fact that they see you helps them to do a double take. So they still try and shove that envelope under the door,
mm,
but they do it um, with a thought process that you're not looking, you're not paying attention. And sometimes we think to ourselves, oh, we're too busy. But just because we have children, it doesn't stop the responsibility that we have for other people's children and looking out for them. And I think that's one of the things that we've lost.
mm,
And we were speaking about the Windrush and the celebrations that are happening in the UK. But I remember growing up that when I saw an adult and or an elder, I treated them like they were my mother or father.
that's right.
And
Everyone is in that category.
I
Everybody.
would respect and hear. But
Mm,
the young people of today, there's only one person that they listen to, and that's themselves to some
mm,
degree.
mm,
They may question or listen to a guardian or a parent to a
mm,
point, but then anyone else outside that circle, there's a lot of young people that aren't listening.
mm.
So when we're in that education system, they're taking what they want and they're leaving what they don't want,
Exactly.
and they don't have that moral compass that can help them just to recalibrate,
Mm-hmm,
just to hear, just to understand, so they can start to pick the sense from the nonsense. And there's a lot of nonsense out there.
mm,
There's a
mm,
lot of information out there that just does not serve us. The question is, what are we doing about it?
mm, mm,
So the Blacknificent radio show gives us an opportunity. Galaxy gives us an opportunity. There are
mm.
other mediums that give us the opportunity. And when you was talking about that program that was shown in the wee hours of the
Good morning.
morning, we know that they hide
Yeah.
information and good information
Mm,
in places that in plain sight.
yeah. Yeah.
Why are we still being fooled?
There you go. Why are we falling for it every time?
Yeah, yeah,
Why are we falling for it? That's the thing.
yeah.
Because like even to the extent of that um they have this thing here and it's Pride Month,
Mm, mm,
right? Right on this month as well. So in other words, irrespective of what we would like to highlight and I wouldn't say celebrate, but just to highlight the issues and everything and have a discussion about it or set some programming around it.
mm,
They have these 24/7 pride things. So even in between the program and its advertising, it's all about that 24/7. Every advert is orientated towards them and everything like this. So
mm,
boy, it's like you have to switch off and switch on
mm,
sometimes to
mm,
just get yourself away from it, you
mm,
know.
mm,
But
mm,
that's how it is. That's how they. But then again, they control that medium, so therefore they utilize it how they see fit. It's,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if we had one that we controlled, if we controlled a medium, then we would use it how we would see fit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But Brother Judas has gone. We'll have to, hopefully he'll call back in a little while. Hopefully he'll call back in a little while. Yeah. So like, it's one of these things that we have to be totally and absolutely aware, right, of of where we are, right, where we're trying to put our words of information through, right. We can't be standing in the House of Commons, right, and expect to be heard in a fair and just way, right? Because for a fact, what happens is that you would have all these discussion points within the House of Commons. They are recorded, and yeah, they are recorded, and when they are recorded, they take notes of what is being said, right, about certain communities, and then they use those information there, right, to formulate the policies so that it tickles the ears and the fancy of the local residents, right? So therefore, don't feel that you're going there to actually influence anybody. All they're doing is gathering and getting the feel of what's happening. That's why they have these meetings within the House of Commons. Yeah? Time of action should be done outside so that when they look and they actually leave the House of Commons to come and find out what's going on. Yeah, that is the type of action that we should be taken. Yeah, right. Why has everybody gone down to the bank and withdrawn their money? Why? Huh? Simple, very simple, very simple. Yeah, like this is how the life is, and that's how it is. We're in their playground, and we're playing with their ball. Therefore, they got their rules. Yeah, irrespective of if you think that you're a free man and all them things there, right? If you're a free man, get on the bus, get on the plane, and set yourself free, right? No, it don't make sense you sitting down here and shouting the odds when nobody's paying no attention to you. Yeah, see, that's another thing there again. See. Anyway, listen. I realize that it's the top of the hour for you, and as you did share that you'll be moving off for today, right? And we look forward to seeing you in the near future. Will you be? Do you think you'll
I'll
be
be
joining us tomorrow?
in tomorrow. Yeah, aiming to be
Tomorrow?
on tomorrow, but I won't be on next week. I won't see you next week.
That's okay. I understand.
Mm,
I understand. I understand. There's a,
yeah,
there's Mum's Day. Innit?
yeah, yeah.
Mum's Day. Okay then. All right then. You take care now.
All
Right.
right then, brother.
I won't say have a good day because you've got 30 degrees to go walk up and down in with your open arm shirt there, sir, and everything. Go on about yourself.
Make
Take
a
care.
little love.
Yeah, yeah. Take care now.
Um,
All right. All right. That's our sister Sandra there over there in Jamaica, you know. And as I said, she has a busy time there. So I'm gonna play this one for her. Play this one for
Hey,
her. Lines are
give
open.
thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Chimney, chimney. Today my rise like the sunrise, my bright and my upright. No one can block my vibes. Me no care who I fight, I know I criticize, I'm on a higher heights. So you can say what you want to and do what you want to, it's no concern to me. I may have more one vision, me dep on more one mission to rule my destiny. Oh, it's my day to do what the fuck I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine, my day, my time, my life. I beg you, easy now, give me some reason now, and don't invade my space. I'm in a different place, different phase, moving on my way. So if you feel like a champion, then nothing can go wrong. This one is your song. Hey, put away your troubles, put away your worries, help me sing along. Oh, it's my day to do anything I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine, my day, my time, my life out there. So, feeling alive, feeling a vibe, and nothing can stop me. I don't care what they think or what they say about me. Look out, world, here we come, up and running. And all I'm saying is, it's my day to do what the fuck I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. All mine, my day, my time, my life. Jimmy, give thanks for life. Give thanks for life. Jimmy, give thanks for life. Give thanks I'm alive. Sing it, sing it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Right. My screen has gone totally blank here in the studio. I don't know what's happened with this thing here. It's just everything is just messing up right now. Boy, time in. Your timing is terrible. Why do you do? Here, I know. Me not know. I don't know what's happening. Oh, here we are. Okay then. Okay, right. We'll see. We'll see if it will come. All come back. Hopefully, it will come back in its own time. Hmm? All right. Let's see what happens. Anyhow, so my people, my people. Here we are, here on the galaxy of the we.net on the Blacknificent show. We're in the last hour now. Here, right? Lines are open 0203-289-6504. Yes, as I was saying to Elder that there was a program. There was a program on, and we we are being played like puppets so often, right? And as I said, it's a program that I've seen some years ago. It's a program that I saw some years ago, and it just happened to be on, and it literally was from midnight to 4 a.m. that they had this program on there. And for me, I thought to myself, wow, why is it that they're showing this program at this time? And then I thought, well, no. Let's face the facts now. They are there and they are doing their agenda for themselves, right? And that is how life is. That is how their life is, right? We are here and we have to really be honest with ourselves now. Really be honest with ourselves. Do we really want ourselves to be treated in such a manner, right, that we can be treated in such a way? When do we stand up and fight? Right, brother Julius, I've just brought in brother Akram as well, so we've got three of us in the ring at the same time, right? Brother Julius, you go first, my brother.
Rise up, my brother.
Greetings.
Yes, my brother. I'm good, really. I'm not lastminute.com.
Brilliant.
Yeah, man. You see, it's this Babylon we live. I mean, most times when I call you, it's like either just come out of the plantation or I'm in the plantation but having a little quick break and them kind of things, because this is how they make our life go on. You understand? And especially when we get all these things now, for some of us, they don't like to be saying that, who are living like you have a house to live or whatever it is. They bring in all these interest rates and all these kind of things. It's affecting some of us in this Babylon, not some of us, most of us.
Listen,
they cry out there, my brother.
Listen, let me tell you something. There's some people who all of a sudden, from nothing, they got to find an extra £8,000 to £1,000 a month, right? From nothing. Me no know. All people go survive, But £8,000 to £1,000 a month extra.
Yes, my brother. You see, the thing is, if only this nation can come to understand that the people that we have, and those who have the same color as those people, those red skin, what they call orange, blue kind of pin and red, whatever it is, them kind of people who look like when you take the hair off some of their these meat, them you find out that their skin look a bit pinky red and everything. Because I'm trying to let them know they're not white. That's what. My brother, and it's serious talk we're talking. Unless when the other people who are like them try to understand that these people who from the original 18th century, they have enslaved human beings. They went and see some human being who was living a civilized life, right? And everything was there in their possession. They were going about their life nicely. And they come to enslave their own people as well. You understand? Because what you're doing, people, putting their people in such a devastated life. Where it's happened that some of their people have gone and get double property to enslave other people them. But now it's affecting them as well because they can't pay for this property them which they bought before because they have put so much interest on them that they are stuck now, in another word. So it's like we all find ourselves in that the things that catch up with us, with them as well, right? Unless they realize that the ones them who they call their leaders them as well, they are thieves, they are robbers, they are scammers, they are everything that you can think about. Yes, my brother.
Well, I would say within the next 6 months, there's going to be a big revelation, and I feel that it could bring the parliament as it stands now. It could bring it to a halt. It could bring it to a halt.
Brother, right? I think you are right in that. I think that's the politics conservative is playing. So they make it, you understand, so that maybe they can proceed with their one government pattern and so on, because it's like they are refusing to come out of this thing, and so that they can carry the agenda 2030, which they have particular individual them there. That's where they were wanting Boris Johnson so much, but they are trying their ways still how they can carry out this agenda 2030. This is the thing, right? Now, my brother, when when you look at it, even I didn't know about this 75th anniversary of the Windrush so-called generation, which is the pioneer, right? That is how these people play their ways. They are very crafty. They know how to play in within mankind and use a game of what you call this divide and rule. They will use it in any pattern. They know they have some of these idiots and blank kind of people that who have a skin looking like us who are black, right? But they know they have trapped them in that when they use the word multicultural and all this sort of thing, they are happily, because why? Some of them are going to integrate and get married to their white brothers and sisters, right? So that they can enslave all of them and everything, and they refuse to let go being stupid of them. You understand? So these are the games that these people play. So what they come with, they talk about, I mean, you can imagine all of a sudden, I've never even heard about this in Galaxy, but I heard it in their media today, talking about the 75th anniversary of the Windrush and so on. Then I said, where is this coming from again?
Yep. You see, and then
yes.
it will be breezed over for the day, and then they'll be back to their debauchery again tomorrow. That's all.
Yes, my brother.
Right back to the debauchery.
Yeah. This is what these people sorry.
Yeah, let me bring in Brother Akram, right? Before we go too far into this.
Yeah, can I end up in this? Yeah, because maybe I might be calling in the plantation. Okay. What I want to say, right? For our people to understand, right? These people have to be sued, and they have to pay so much. Don't they say they want to transfer what they call that Windrush compensation to another and take it off the government hand. But these people, they get a lot of things to be sued about. Now, even I read about it today. When our African, because first of all, the massive one, I think they are doing this divide and rule, talking about Caribbean people coming into this country and everything. We should take that out of their tongue, that to take the African coming from the Caribbean, they must add that into their vocabulary, because this is where they want to play their divide and rule and try to do and not to pay what they have to pay. Now, what they did, exactly, my brother, they play these games, and what did they do? They say to the people when they were coming here originally, the word that they sent out to these people, they said they're coming to help the people from, in their motherland. We must not forget that kind of statement they make, that they come into their motherland to develop the motherland. Only when they come here, they find out that they have been beaten up, they're having discrimination, they're having knives and guns on them and everything, and they have to question us, well, is this the motherland and so on and so on? Only now, to the back of the times there, our people come to know that a country must be so freezing like that. It's not the motherland. You understand? Because the motherland is not as freezing as that, and all white face. So where were all these black face or the African face when these people come to this country? So for such a lie and scam they use, that is another way they have to pay for the lies they tell, because they have been lying to us, our people, for a very long time. So look, I'm there to dig in these things, and we have to come up with these things, because these people are not going to get away freely with what they have done, my brother.
Yes. All right, then. Okay, Brother Akram?
Yeah, Grand Rising.
Grand Risings, my brother. Grand Risings.
Grand Rising to our brother also there. And I'm sorry I came in a bit late because I would have loved to speak to the sister in Jamaica and to our who left the platform. It's very interesting, because I listen all the time. I listen and I try to analyze what I'm hearing and try to put things together. And I like to deal with the reality. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't want to do the thing. And well, first of all, I will start with the situation of Jamaica and my country. I always take things from my country. My country is small compared with Jamaica. But in a sense, it has a very similar background to Jamaica, right? The country I came from in Montserrat. And nearly everybody in Montserrat can say they have somebody in foreign, right? Who gone to foreign, okay? Now, what happened in Montserrat is that all these people who gone into foreign, and I'm sure it's the same in Jamaica, have sent money back to their grandmother, aunties, brothers or whoever. Money constantly keep going back to these families, right? Okay. Now, what happened is that with the money that goes back, I know that goes back to Montserrat. And I had this with one politician there because he's saying, "Oh, you guys gone away, so you don't have a voice here in the country." I said, "Look, my brother," I said, "Look, it's our money that came back here that caused my grandmother and others to come and buy from your shop, right? Without us coming, so don't say that because we are away, that we're not a part of the system. We're very much a part of the system.
Exactly.
Because it's our money, right? We send back to our grandmothers and aunties and so forth, and they come and buy from your shop. Okay? You follow what I'm saying, right? But I'm just showing you the mentality of many of our people back home, right? Of how they see us. Yes, we're from there, but the point is they see us as foreign bodies. Okay? Now, I'm just pointing out that we send our money back home, and our grandparents or aunties and brothers and so forth who we send money back to, they take that money in my country and put it to use. That means they either build houses, develop the place, or whatever, grandmother break down the old house and put up a new house, and when you go back, there's an extra room in the house for you to stay and other things like that, right? Sometimes they break the whole thing down and build a whole new one, okay? And it was considered, I was looking at something about the, about the positions of countries in the world, and I was surprised when I saw Montserrat. It says that it was before the volcano. Number 66 world ranking in the economy of the world, in the world population.
Yes.
Countries, right? Out of over 200 and something countries, it was right up there with Israel, along with the Cayman Islands. If everybody hear about the Cayman Islands, but they don't hear about Montserrat very much. But it was pretty much up there at number 66, right? How did it get there? Because the people who went away send money back home, and those people, because nearly every house that was built in Montserrat from the 60s, before I left there in 65, but before I left there, every house built, if it has 3 bedrooms, it has 2 bathroom and toilet inside. Okay, right? You have the master bedroom.
I know. In England, that wasn't the case in England.
And that wasn't the case in England then. Okay, you understand me, right?
Yeah.
So, the brother, the elder pointed out something about the Romans and what they do and so forth. And I'm saying, well, he was talking about the situation of the whites ghettoizing themselves or something like that, where they don't want to live alongside the blacks or any other ethnics and so forth. Now, in my country, in the 60s, when the whites, because many whites were there before the war, but after the war, many people left. The whites left. But then later on, they start coming back in the early 60s.
And they started putting up areas where the whites only go there. But every time the white man put up a house, the black man put up a house right next to him. And sometimes even better than him. Okay? You understand, right? This is from back in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Because I left here in 65 and I went back 7 years later. And when I went back, many of the guys I went to school with were on their way to be millionaires. They were doing better than I was in England. Yeah. Okay? And I'm asking myself the question, well, why? Wait a minute. See this guy in a house that I couldn't even afford in England. And how did they do it? Well, what they did is, they did it. They didn't say it's a cooperative, but it's a cooperative method. What they did is, if you know, you have a bunch of friends, Brother Aston. So you have 10 friends, good friends and so forth. And you gather sometime and you sit around and you play dominoes and you do whatever, right? Now, you're doing something at your house. Instead of them, I mean, you know, instead of you calling in somebody to come and paint up your house and do this.
Everybody mock in. Everybody come.
Everybody mock in, right? They come and they mock in. So it don't cost you all that amount of money. But they're your friends, aren't they? So why would they want to charge you for all of this work?
Exactly.
You understand me? You see? And when they're doing this, you come and you do it for them as well. Right?
Well, the thing is that you see that method there. This is the thing that I know in America that the Mexicans do. Yeah, like on their day off, they go to their friend's house or wherever, and they help build their house. Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Exactly.
You know.
Right.
And then obviously when it's time for them to do something on their place, you know, it's returned reciprocated in that way they saw. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is the reason why, my brother, you know, I have issues with us that we can't, you know, we're in the situation that we're in. We're in the situation that we're in because of our mindset, our mentality, right?
Yes,
if you think that you know, you go out there and you look for the ways to win. You understand me? But if you think you're a loser, then you will not do anything about your situation, right? And I believe that's the situation that most of us are in, right? You have to believe, hey, you know, I mean, when I look at people like Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, Leonard, and, you know, even our brother there, what's his name, the heavyweight boxer from here that was champion, Lennox Lewis. You know, and all these guys. I give up to them because, you know, they believe in themselves. They believe, hey, I'm a winner. You understand me? I'm going to go out there and do it. I'm not going to sit down. You understand me? They're going to go out there and they're going to be a winner, right? And that is the problem that most of us have. We don't believe that we can win. And right? So what I'm saying is about the Jamaican, I would have loved to ask the sister, because if I'm right, because I'm sure this is the way Jamaica has got the problem. That many people are sending money. I mean, nearly everybody in Jamaica can probably say, I have brother or sister, auntie, mother out in a foreign land. And those people are sending money back. So if that's the case, what are you doing with that money? Right? What are you doing with that money when you get it? Do you put it for some good use? Or you go and squander it? Where's it? Oh, me go and get some, we got money now, so we go and get some girl. Oh, we got money now, so we go and drink.
Party and drink it out.
That is the mindset of a lot of our people. And I see it happening in Africa right now. As I said, I employed over 100 people. And when I come to realize that is the situation of nearly every one of them. When the men, they get money, hey, boys, you're going to get another girl. You know, do you understand me, right? You know, and they have their wife at home, but they want to go out. And my wife continues to say, you think those women are cheap? They want something. You know? And in the end, their wife and children don't have anything because they're spending on these women. You understand what I'm saying, right? And then they say,
okay. What about Julius? That polygamy, right? Now, obviously, you know, within the concepts of some places, right? Where a man would have more than one wife.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the economics of that, obviously, you know go pick up one wife and treat him less than the next one, right? And then if they have children now, right? Before you know it, he could have 6 and 10 children. There's so too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So therefore, let's look on it now, because if you do the comparison to yourself, and you was doing that in England, right? To have 2 wives and then 6 children, right? You must be having at least £300,000 a year to maintain that, isn't it? In a one household.
Well, yeah, you would need that. I mean, yeah, because when Brother Sean was saying, he said the average income that a person would need a year to be comfortable, and this was about maybe 6-7 years ago, it was about £20,000 a year.
Right. That is just for the person.
I mean, that's for one household.
That's right. Yeah. Right. And then you could double that, right? If you have a wife, right? And then you could probably about 2/3 of that for children. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You understand? Right. And that's I'm talking about, like, take them to university and all them type of thing. Right. Why? Let me tell you something. There ain't many jobs around that you can be earning them type of things. There's not many jobs around.
Well, that is so. But the point is, what you have is right, because I know quite a few friends of mine, and they have 2 and 3 wives, right? Okay?
Right.
You understand me? But the point is, okay, their wives are also earners as well. So they see, that is the other thing. You understand me? And the woman, they will say, rather than me sitting down here with nobody, I'd better marry this guy, and at least, I don't have to be out there on the street or whatever. There's still a man around. There's still a man around for my children and other things like that. You understand me, right? So there's few friends of mine, and I know that they have 2 and 3 wives even here in this country, right? But this is the program that they work upon, But as you rightly say, in Tanzania, I remember even my mother-in-law, her sister husband had about 4 wives.
Jeez.
Okay, but most of the children used to come and stay by my mother-in-law's sister, and all the other wives were comfortable with that. She was the one who actually more or less brought up most of the children. You see what I'm saying? And they had no problems with it. They had no qualms with it. You know what I mean? Yeah? So it just depends. As I said, everything is about a mindset and how you carry the mind. Because to the others, hey, wait a minute, it's a relief for me that I couldn't go out and I can do things, and I know my children is safe because they are at my husband's other wife. You see what I'm saying, right? And she's the elder, and she's got more wisdom than them, so she will be able to give them education to a certain degree.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
So that is like a cooperative, right? That's so.
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? You see, right? And as I say, she was quite happy. I mean, the other wives' children, they come and stay by her. And she look after them.
This is one of the things, because like how some of us have been over the years, that we have children and here, there, and everywhere, and unfortunately the support of the fathers, right, is very few and far between, right? Because like sometimes when I speak to some of these some artists and things like that, and then they say, "Boy, yeah, I have 9 children," and "Why, yeah, I got 12 children," and I think, but I never see you with them.
Right.
We never see you with them. You understand?
Well, this is it. But as you rightly point out, the cooperative there, and as you say about having child mind and this and that, the family is still kept together because all those children grow up knowing their other brothers and sisters.
Exactly. Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? So they're not divided or anything like that. I mean, they're not put into a home because the family is not there. And as you rightly pointed out earlier, I mean, in this country, families are broken up. One live in Birmingham, one live in Manchester, another one live in London. Well, when you in Birmingham want some help, there's nobody around because you're so far away from the other brothers or sisters. You follow what I'm saying, right? I remember one time she was a teacher, and she was calling on the agony auntie and agony aunt state program, and she was having some problem with her child. But her brothers and them don't know anything about it. So how can they help?
You see, secret squirrel.
you understand what I'm saying, right? You see, and that is a big part of the problem that we are having here in this country, right? People are so scattered, so far apart, so divided. And one of the things that I come to learn over the years is that when grandmother is alive, most families are kept together. Once grandmother departs, I'm not saying in all families,
they scatter.
Families, the family break up.
Yep.
Brothers don't see each other, sisters don't talk to each other, and things like that.
Yep. I've seen that. I've seen that as well.
We meet up at grandmother on Sunday.
I've seen. This is the one that makes me laugh. I've seen when the father, right, the coffin was going down into the ground, and all of a sudden one leap from one side of the grave to the next grave to go thump him brother in the mouth. And the police had to come to separate them. He said, everybody just stand up there, go, where did that come from? Because they never used to argue or fuss or fight or anything like that. But obviously they must have been something to go on.
Exactly. You see, and these are part of the problems that we as people are facing. And I say, coming back to that situation of Jamaica, why are the people there when they, I'd like to find out what happens when the people send money back. What do they do with that money? Why do they not invest that money?
This is not. Let's say the unscrupulous lifestyle and everything over there is very poor, right? Financial literacy is very poor, yeah. Because the way out them go on, boy, it's like they literally, and it is getting worse. It is getting worse. I mean, Sandra and myself were speaking about this off the air, and that people are really setting people to get murdered out there, right? All because of what some money and all them things there, right? They're literally killing each other.
This is the problem, as I said. I'm talking from what I've seen on the ground, things that has happened. Like, for instance, as I said, right now in Africa, £500 is enough as an investment to get somebody started in a business. £500, okay? And I told my wife, and we started doing things like that, okay? And somebody would be sewing, so she would get them sewing machine and other things because they couldn't afford to get the machine. Okay, we go shares in the business, right? Start sharing the business. After a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, money coming in. Then all of a sudden, money stops coming in. Right? You understand what I'm saying? And nearly everybody who she put out to do this thing with, that is always been the case, right? They don't want to give you back the money. They don't want to, hey, wait a minute, I got something now. Why should I be giving you anything? You follow what I'm saying? Right? Why should I be giving you anything? But you didn't have anything. I gave you in good. And that is the difference with us. You were talking about other people. In Bangladesh, there was a man, very rich man. And he thought, look, let me empower these women. Let me help them. And they call them, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to do this business. Okay, money you want? Okay, I'll give you this money. But every week you must bring me back money. So I can get that money back in collective, right? And then I can pass it on to other in the future. You follow what I'm saying? Right? Okay. Now, they bring the money back religiously. In Tanzania, the government tried to do that with some people in housing. People don't bring the money back. The Kuwait, before the Kuwait, before the war in Kuwait and thing, they had a project which they wanted to do in Africa. I met the man personally, Dr. Muhammad, and he was going around trying to assist and help people. If they want money, the Kuwaiti government will give them the money. Not charging them interest or nothing. All they have to do is give the money back. As their business grow, just keep giving the money back, so that money is in the pool.
It can be recirculated. It can be recirculated again.
Recirculated. Did they give the money back? No.
I know.
This is our problem, brother. This is our problem. Our problem is us, and we have to start looking inside. Why are we that? Why are we in that conditional mind that we don't want to see our brothers succeed? We get into a job, right? And I've seen it, right? And taxi driver, when I came, I saw, hey, let me tell this brother, let me tell him. So there's other guys who've been there for, they wouldn't tell anybody. Hey, there's a good job over here, brother. Come and, you know what I'm saying, right? And so you can get into the job. And I tell this brother, look, he was working in the post office, and he's saying, I say to him, well, look, why you continue working in the post office? You have a job here where you can earn a lot more money than you working in the post office, right? So what's the point of wasting the time? The time that you're taking in the post office, you could have earned that much more money sitting here.
Yeah.
One brother from Jamaica said, well, you can hold on to the job you have.
But some people just get comfortable in them things there.
You understand me? He's telling him that he should just stay where he is, keep holding on to but that 8 hours you're doing, my brother, you could have earned a lot more money in this job here. So why are you staying that 8 hours and then have to come and do extra here? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to see that person rise up to be at the level to have a car like them, to have a house like them. This is the problem that we have with many of our people. When you say you're going to do something, I have a friend now who's a millionaire, and he used to call me, say, boy, I want to do something, and every time people are telling me, boy, you can't do this, you can't make it, you can't this, and said, but you're the only one who always give me encouragement. You understand me, right? You see? And he's a millionaire today. You follow me? Right? He's a millionaire today. Because I tell him, no, brother, you can go on, you can do it. You can, go on. What you want to do, go and take the effort and do it. But when he calls other people, you think
No. I'm hearing you. I'm listening to you because, these are the things that we face, no matter where we're going. And I understand what you're saying, that places that should be thriving are not thriving, and it is mainly just down to the attitude of the people then, because when you go to visit some places, you think, wow, who's actually in charge here? Right? Who's actually in charge here? Because all right, then just a simple thing like the road conditions, right? And the annual floodings and the washway of the roads, the bridges, the road structures all over the place. And then you think, well, who's in charge? Who's actually maintaining and rebuilding and restructuring it? And it's always some foreign money that comes in, and then when they come in and they want to build roads, they're charging you, and this and it's high price, right? It's a high price that not even the locals can afford to run on it as a regular thing. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
So
exactly.
and then they said, well, the money that is made from the road tolls, right? You can pay us back with that, but nobody's using it, or not no substantial amount of people are using them because mainly they can't afford it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And this is the whole program. I mean, imagine like my country, the stones in my country. You can actually see the iron in the stone. It's hard. Okay. You understand me? You could see the sparkling of the iron in the stone. Right. Now, when you were building the wharf, because unfortunately, Montserrat, the water is very deep. It's like like an island pop out in the middle of the ocean. So it's not like some other places where you have long shores or whatever. You know what I mean? It's the place is just, as you step outside too far, it just goes deep. It's like there's a sunk right down, right? And the fact is that they're building a wharf. Because many times they build a wharf and the wharf gets broke up. Because you're talking about seas, really rough seas. Because the water is so deep, the water hitting it straight on. There's no leveling off of the water, residing or before it gets to the power gets to the wharf or anything, the full force is hitting it. So many times they build and now they bring people in to bring. What they said is, look, we can't use the stones here. We have to bring the stones from Barbados or someplace else.
Wow. Oh, wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Only when they finished, they realized, wait a minute, we had the stones here all the time. And this is how these people trick us in the way of coming in when they want to do work in our country, right? With their contracts and things. And our people sometimes don't think. They just say, okay, yeah, well, you're the expert, so we go along. You understand me, right? And this is where many of the African countries also fall in with that sort of thing. Why are you bringing things from out there when we have the same material right here? You understand me, right? And I'm sure in Jamaica, all these things, same thing. People, these foreign companies coming in, they want to be bringing this in from outside and so forth. When you have the real materials right there in the land, And as I said, my brother, look, I believe that we can overcome all of these problems. We just need to change our mindset, right? Start loving our brothers. Start wanting for our brothers the same thing we want for ourselves. Don't have any ambiguity about anything about your brother, right? Who cares if he gets richer than me?
That is totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant, isn't it? As I say, more riches, more responsibilities.
Well, yeah, because the point is, if he can, because if he gets richer, he might be able to bring enough to more people. Like I was saying to an Ethiopian brother today, because I was asking him the question, do you know that before Dangote, that the richest black man in the world was an Ethiopian? So then he said, nah. Then he checked back. He said, oh yeah, this brother, yeah. He said, so the richest guy from Ethiopia, he didn't make his money in Ethiopia. He made his money in Saudi Arabia. Right? A guy called Al Moody. He was the richest before Dangote, several years back. He was worth over 11 billion. This is over 10 years ago. He was worth over 11 billion. That time Dangote is just coming up now. Okay? Dangote has since gone past him. But what I'm saying is he was the richest black man in the world then. But he made his money not in America, not in Europe, but in Saudi Arabia. He was an oil man and things in Saudi Arabia, like all those Arab sheikhs and things you see there. But he was a black man. His mother was from Ethiopia, right? And he don't forget his roots. He took $5 billion and went into Ethiopia, took it to Ethiopia to help develop Ethiopia, right? And he's doing very well. But the brother was telling me that when this new leader that came and started up the war in Tigray and whatever it is, that guy had an issue with him because he didn't want the guy to continue spending his money like that because he felt that guy would be challenging, whatever. So he went and told the Saudi government, this is how devious people is. Tell the Saudi government, right, we will give you land, we'll give you this, just arrest that man. You understand what I'm saying?
You see?
Right?
You see? You see?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now the man is under house arrest. For over 5 years now, the man cannot go to Ethiopia. That is our people, brother. That's our people, right? The man could, I mean, he told me, look, this guy has got over 100,000 people in employment in his businesses. His businesses are still there, but he can't go there.
He can't go there.
You understand what I'm saying?
That is how evil some people are.
Well,
evil.
This is the evil that is trampling around us. Why we're not moving anywhere. And that is the same thing why I'm saying. Like in Equatorial Guinea, which we don't talk about much, and many people don't know about it. But Equatorial Guinea, right, 18 years ago, had an income higher than that of Dubai, Singapore, even America. A GDP per capita, right, of over $50,000. If it was to give each person the good equivalent of money, $50,000, then you follow what I'm saying, right? $50,000 then. America would only be $45,000. And there in Africa, you had an African country, you could have given your people $50,000 per head.
Yes, King Ben.
Yeah, man. I tell you, you leave me. I thought maybe you're gonna come on the show again and say, it's your time now. But my brother was just on the whole show.
No. Because I thought you said you was returning to work.
No. I tell him, leave it or whatever it is. Anyway, I was listening, taking my patience to listen to you.
Okay.
And look, my brother said something just now, really. Look, what happened, though, really, a lot have said there that what happened when you look into the African development.
Yeah.
Remember that these people met us, we were doing our own thing, and they destabilized us. Yeah. And the way they destabilize us, they come with their guns and ammunition. They come with their Bible and missionary, right? That is all part of the destabilization of Africa, you know.
Of course it is.
And the Muslim come with theirs as well. And then when you look into the resources of what Africa have, I know my brother always talk about a business, but it's like the business looking at an individual business. But me not looking at an individual business now. I'm looking at a business with the whole of Africa how to get their hands and all their own property business for themselves. In another word, where now, if you look, all the resources we have in the world, about 90% of the resources, first of all, I can say 100, because they just want to disqualify us and say the material and resources we get in our land is 90. When you look at that, you understand? When you talk about uranium, you talk about bauxite, you talk about lithium, you talk about the thing they use for their battery now, you talk about even water. When Africa is a little bit make us think they are struggling for water, that is the land for water, right? We need where we come into that combination. We get all this extracting machine, go and extract these things and dig in and do the thing for water where it will serve the all of Africa because we get the water there. Right? When it comes to electricity, just like what that boy is trying to do, Icon and so on, we can do the all of Africa and let Africa serve with electricity. That's why even when it comes to the solar, which I'm not looking for, but there is another way which will get our electricity and so on for the all of Africa, right? Though when I'm talking about Africa now, because they have divided us so much that you get some part of Spain, which is like Africa place, you get like Morocco, you get Mauritius and so on, these places them. I'm concentrating on the black land. Because when you talk about the upper side, like the northern side and so on, these people, they don't care about us. And these are the people the white man look into because they know when they want to destroy the black man in Africa, who are the real African people, they use these people and they've been working together with these people for decades, right? So this is what they do. One thing they do actually, they destabilize us of our own economy. They come and say with their guns and ammunition, which they said Africa shouldn't be sell or know how to do this kind of things. This is one of the big ways they try to get us.
But that has always been one of their plans of how they come and rule and conquer. Yeah?
That's it. That's the most major thing they use on us.
That's right.
Because they were never over us. We were good at our economy. We were even our education system as well, and on. But the thing is, we look and normally we say, oh, it's we are not serious. Oh, we don't come together. We are not. This is how they set it up. So first of all, when you talk about our leaders, them number one, what happened? They get a word which they use what they call geopolitics. The geopolitics system is when, remember when they have the Berlin conference in 1880 something, right?
Yes.
When they have that conference, they divide Africa into so many, each one get their own place and everything. And this up till now, Africa is still divided in that way. So what they use again what they call this geopolitics, right? And when you can say, oh, the African leaders, they are not for their people. No, because this is how the people set that system, right? This is how it is written for them. That's why when you get some of the power ones them who come there to do certain things, they will either take off the name, and some are not able to carry it out because they are kind of rule directly, even though we go to independent, right? Right? Even like the one that must say a Republicans and so on. But this is the situation which we find ourselves into. But unless we come to look on everything that is designed through their paperwork, their constitution, their agreement, and we begin to discard of most of these things, we have to study all these things, in order to disqualify the people, from having an hold on us. Right? This is what they do. So not that maybe we don't care for ourselves. Even when my brother is talking about we don't send money. You know the amount of people that will send money back home. They go and pay places back home and all these sort of things.
I know that.
First of all,
I know that.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, they can't sit down and eat the wind. They can't sit up and eat the blue sea and the white sand. So they find it for a place where it happened that maybe they will happen to work. Some come doing cleaning work, some come doing this work, just to be having that same living. But what they do, they make sure they destabilize where the black man is. So all we do, we have to concentrate of developing that thing. First of all, when it comes to our agriculture, instead of they start to make Ukraine look like the bread basket of the world, which they are not. They are trying to take everything off Africa, right? We get this machine.
They can't even feed their own people, let alone go feed the world.
Yeah, man. Because what they do, they get this machine, which they're trying to concentrate on the machine which can do the agriculture work, which we need the machine to work in Africa. We get to even when you want to call about the rainforest, we get a lot of rain coming in Africa. We get a lot of green places them coming up in Africa. So we need all these machines them there, which we can develop our own farming, agriculture, work for our own self. And then we begin to exchange. Instead of they begin to burn our place and they go to Indonesia and develop this thing, this palm tree there, we they burn their place. We get it naturally in Africa. We get our coconut naturally in Africa. We get our breadfruit naturally in Africa. So all we need, we just need the agriculturists them who can look into some of these farms and get these machines them, which our leader them. But this is what these people don't want us to have. Because when we have these things,
I would say, personally, I would say, let them keep their machine, right? And we build our own. That's what I would say.
Well,
right? And we are very capable of doing that. Yeah? We don't need their machines. Where you going?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Yes, my brother. It's possible. But what I'm saying, these people
listen, we're coming to the top of the hour now, you know. We're coming to the top of the hour now.
Okay, my brother, let me end up with this. These people have to pay reparation. And they must pay repatriation as well. They destabilize us. Right? We would have been long time ahead. We don't need to look onto them. Our people will never come here. Even look what they say, they separate what they call apartheid in South Africa, even all over Africa. They get where the white man lives and where the black man lives. But they have to pay all over Europe. Even Britain was the biggest in colonizing the Africa places. They must send this machine them there because we should have built them long time. We're not going to waste any time like that. They have to pay for all these things and send their machine to do this work. So we're going to request for the things that we need. This is all part of our reparation and repatriation movement. And they have to go and build places them that our people have to get a place to lie down, to sleep, and all this sort of thing, because they destabilize us. This is my end of the talking, my brother.
All right, then. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, Brother Julius. Brother Akram, you have 30 seconds. Can I hear him? He probably step out for a while himself. Yeah, man. All right, then. We're going to have to close off the line then now. Yeah. Until next round. I'm going to have to say, until next strong, be safe, people. Be safe. That is right up to the last minute now.
I know, 'cause I found.
Lock into the power station.
Galaxy Radio, Galaxy Radio. Philly Station, Philly Station.
Can't escape it. No matter what, you might as well face it. I can't give and take. All alive is what you made. Yeah. What they deserve most of the time anyway. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you win, but you could lose. That's alright. You can't change the rules. If it ain't one thing, it's gonna be two. Long as you live and you know it's true. What goes up must come down. Talk to me right now. Things you do come back around. I know, 'cause I found. What goes up must come down. Like the sunshine, under the night. Sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right. Let there be no doubt.
Galaxy Radio, Brainwashing Station. 100%, 100% excellent. Excellent, excellent.